We ready, Madam Clerk?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very good. We'll go ahead and call this regular meeting of the East Peoria City Council to order. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Decker, Hill,
Here.
Mingus,
Here.
Sutherland,
Here.
Mayor Call.
Here.
All present except Commissioner Decker, Your Honor.
Thank you. Please rise for the invocation. Remain standing for the pledge.
Shall we pray? Heavenly Father, thank you for this day and every day that you give us. Please instruct us in a way that should work for you. Please counsel us in your loving eye on us. Let our aims in this meeting be aligned with your direction. Let our plans be orchestrated by you. Whatever it is that you want to result in this meeting, Lord, let it happen. Amen. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the minutes, please.
Mr. Mayor, I move the minutes of the regular meeting held on August 20, 2024, and the minutes of the special meeting for working session held on August 20th, 2024 be approved as printed.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner Sutherland, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner
Aye.
Mingus,
Aye.
Aye.
Mayor Call.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carried. All right, under communications, I do actually have 3 proclamations this evening. We had a couple listed, and we realized that we missed one, so I'm going to cover 3 of them this evening. First one, whereas in the aftermath of the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001, the American people demonstrated that in times of hardship, the values that define us do not simply endure. They are stronger than ever, and whereas as a nation, we responded to unthinkable tragedy with an outpouring of service and goodwill. And whereas on that dark day, first responders rushed into a burning Pentagon and climbed the stairs of the smoking towers on the verge of collapse, while citizens risked their own health and safety to prevent further heartbreak and destruction. And whereas as Americans, we came together to help our country recover and rebuild. And on this day, we pay tribute to the selfless heroes and innocent victims of September 11th, 2001, and we reaffirm the spirit of patriotism, service, and unity that we felt in the days and months that followed. And whereas we join in serving causes greater than ourselves and honoring those we have lost, we are reminded of the ways that the victims of 9/11 live on, and the people they loved, the lives they touched, and the courageous acts they inspired. And whereas by a joint resolution approved December 18, 2001, the United States Congress designated September 11th of each year as Patriot Day. Now therefore, I, John P. Call, Mayor of the City of East Peoria, do hereby proclaim September 11th, 2024 as Patriot Day in the City of East Peoria and invite all citizens to participate in community service in honor of those our nation lost, to observe this day with appropriate ceremonies and activities, including remembrance services, and to observe a moment of silence beginning at 8:46 a.m. to honor the innocent victims who perished as a result of the terrorist attacks of September 11, 2001. We ask all businesses, schools, and agencies to display the flag of the United States at half-staff in honor of the individuals who lost their lives on September 11, 2001. And I think we all need a reminder about 2001, September 11th, and how everyone pulled together, and hope we do honor and remember those who lost their lives on that day. And let us never let it happen again in this country. Second proclamation. Whereas all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and all U.S. territories require the use of car seats for children traveling in motor vehicles. And whereas car seat laws were enacted because they save lives and prevent injuries. And whereas the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration estimates that car seats reduce the risk of fatal injury to infants and toddlers by 71% in passenger cars. And whereas injury potentially could be avoided by the proper installation and use of car seats according to age and weight of the child. And whereas educating parents and caregivers about the best ways to keep children safe while traveling in vehicles, no matter how short or long the trip, can work toward eliminating these preventable deaths and injuries. And whereas parents and caregivers are encouraged to participate in car seat safety checks, tongue twister there, such as the ones conducted from 1 until 4 p.m. on the first Wednesday of the month at the East Peoria Fire Department Central Station, to make sure their children are in the right car seats for their age and size, and that the seats are installed correctly. Now, therefore, I, John P. Call, Mayor of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, do hereby proclaim September 15th through the 21st, 2024, as Child Passenger Safety Week, and call upon all citizens to help reduce the injuries and the tragic loss of life by buckling up their little crumb crunchers every trip and every time. Anyway, anything you'd like to say, Commissioner?
No, just reiterate, Your Honor, that the fire department will check car seats first Wednesday of every month from 1 to 4. That would be tomorrow if anybody is interested. Stop by Central House and have your car seat either checked or installed.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. All right, third and final proclamation this evening. Whereas September is recognized as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, this proclamation was created to raise the visibility of mental health and proactive suicide prevention resources in our community, to share a message of hope and healing, and to recognize that everyone has a role to play in preventing suicide. And whereas suicide affects people regardless of age, gender, or background, according to the CDC, suicide is the second leading cause of death for ages 10 through 34, with more than 49,000 people dying by suicide annually in the United States. And the rate is 1.5 times higher for veterans than for non-veteran adults over the age of 18. And whereas with each and every suicide directly impacting a minimum of 100 additional people, including family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, service and community members, and social media connections, we can assume that everyone has been impacted by suicide. And whereas East Peoria, Illinois is no different than any other community in the country, but chooses to publicly state and place our full support behind local educators, mental health professionals, athletic coaches, PAC leaders, firefighters, police officers, and parents as partners in supporting our community and simply being available to one another. And whereas help and support are available 24/7 via phone call, text, or chat from the 988 Suicide Crisis Lifeline. Dial or text 988 and be connected to a crisis center or chat at 988lifeline.org for people struggling with depression or suicidal thoughts, and for anyone who is concerned about a loved one or simply someone they know. And whereas every member of our community should understand that throughout life's struggles, we all need the occasional reminder that we are all fighting our own battles. And whereas I encourage all residents to take the time to check in with their family, friends, and neighbors on a regular basis and communicate their appreciation for their existence by any gesture they deem appropriate. A simple phone call, message, handshake, or hug can go a long way towards helping someone realize that suicide is not the answer. Now, therefore, be it resolved that I, John P. Call, Mayor of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, do hereby proclaim the month of September 2024 as National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. So I think that proclamation is very fitting based upon a couple of discussions that we've had over the last couple of meetings. So anyway. All right, that wraps up the communications. Public comment. Anyone wish to address the council on an agenda item, please come forward. I'm seeing no one. Commissioner Hill, I'll turn it over to you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt a consent agenda consisting of items numbered 1 through 4. Item number 1, adoption of resolution number 2425-058, Resolution to approve payment of the scheduled bills listed on Schedule Number 8 in the amount of $899,536.12. Item number 2, adoption of ordinance number 484809 on second reading. Ordinance updating the notice provisions for nuisance abatement under Chapter 3 of Title 7 of the East Peoria City Code. Item number 3, adoption of resolution number 2425-050 on second reading. Resolution approving change order with Knapp Concrete Contractors, Inc. for the Veterans Drive Bridge Repair Project. And item number 4, adoption of resolution number 2425-049 on second reading. Resolution accepting and approving the proposal for Cummins Sales and Service for engine overhaul for fire engine number 3, the 2015 Pierce, as listed on the agenda for this meeting to be considered by omnibus vote.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Mingus.
Do we usually have a roll call there?
Well, it's
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Mingus,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Mayor Call,
aye.
all present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I move you that items numbered 1 through 4 listed on the consent agenda be hereby approved and adopted, and items numbered 2 through 4 having been read once by their title and having laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection be adopted as presented.
May I have a second, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Sutherland. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Mingus,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Mayor Call,
Aye.
all present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 2425-057 hereto attach a resolution making declaration of official intent regarding certain city expenditures to be reimbursed from revenues from new TIF district be approved. Mr. Mayor, I move you that this resolution number 2425-057 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Mingus.
I am going to turn it over to Ty to talk about this TIF district.
Thank you, Commissioner. So this is the establishment of a new tax increment finance district, or TIF district. We're calling the Riverfront TIF district. This is the first step in a process. It's multi-month, so it's going to take us some time to get to the point where we've got a completion date. But this is the first step in that process. There will be other opportunities for input and feedback from both the council as well as our residents, and as well as the taxing bodies too. The city has a really strong track record with TIF district implementation and successfully utilizing it. Just think of Town Centers 1 and 2, anything that's happened on the riverfront, Eastport Marina, and most recently right here in the Levy District. So we have a really good track record with utilizing this tool. It's a tool that's in our economic developers toolbox. We've been very judicious in its implementation. We don't blanket the entire city with these. It's very targeted and focused development. So as we look at kind of the next areas to develop, a very natural one, and this is what's being proposed here in this new TIF, would be north of I-74 and to the west of Main Street all the way over to the river. This is a strategic area. It ties in very nicely with the development we've done on the riverfront with Bass Pro. You can imagine an extension of Bass Pro Drive. It also ties in very nicely with the Levy District with the connector underneath I-74 on Altorfer. So this infrastructure pieces, and those are two I mentioned, are really needed to facilitate future development here. So we're very excited about bringing this forward. I mentioned judiciousness of it. This is the first time in my 18 years here that we've created a new district. So this is something that we take very seriously, and we take our time to make sure that it's a very focused and targeted area. So this is, like I mentioned, this is a multi-month process. This is the first step in it. There'll be more opportunities for input and feedback, but this is kicking it off.
Very good.
Very good. Thank you, Ty.
Ty.
Thanks.
Any other discussion? Hearing none. Roll call.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Mingus,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Mayor Call,
Aye.
all present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 2425-053 hereto attach a resolution accepting low bid from River City Roofing for the water treatment plant roof replacement project be approved. Mr. Mayor, I move you that this resolution number 2425-053 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
May I have a second, please?
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioner Sutherland.
In the recent weeks, I think the last one was Firehouse 2. We've had several buildings that were damaged in spring storms, and this is yet another one, the roof of the water treatment plant there on Oakwood Road. And we put it out for bid. We got two bids, one from Creeling at $38,888, and the lowest responsible bid was from River City Roofing at $36,500, and that's what's in front of you for approval tonight.
Very good. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Mingus,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Mayor Call.
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you, motion carried.
Mr. Mayor, that's it for me tonight.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. Commissioner Sutherland.
I've got one thing tonight, Your Honor. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 2425-054, hereto attached, a resolution accepting and approving the proposal from Concentric Integration for the Walmart Lift Station Control Upgrade Project be approved. Mr. Mayor, I move you that this resolution number 2425-054 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Mingus.
We still have some lift stations that a man has, or a woman, has to actually physically go down inside and check on certain things. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that this lift station will bring this up to standards to where we can electronically check the lift station without sending a human being down inside of it. It's just an upgrade, a safety measure that we're slowly but surely tying the whole city together to where the workers can look on their cell phone and see if there's a problem anywhere in town.
You absolutely nailed it. That's exactly what's in front of us tonight. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Mingus,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Mayor Call.
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you, motion carried.
That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner Sutherland. Commissioner Mingus.
3 items tonight, Your Honor. First item, resolution number 2425-055. Be resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that resolution number 2425-055 hereto attached, a resolution approving and accepting the proposal from the City of Peoria for new firefighter and EMT training services through the Peoria Fire Training Academy be approved. Mr. Mayor, I move you that this resolution number 2425-055 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Sutherland.
Thank you, Commissioner Sutherland. This is exactly as it reads. As you guys may or may not know, for the past, I think, probably 2 years, we've been going to Peoria for our firefighter and EMT training. So we have 6 recruits there currently. The total cost for the invoice for them to do both the fire academy as well as the EMT basic portion is $35,100.
So to the Commissioner's point, we don't normally always see these, but we have 6 people going at once, and due to the dollar amount, that's why it's in front of the council. Typically, we just sign off on these and pay the invoices, but that's why you see it here this evening. Any discussion?
I will note, Your Honor, we've had very good luck with Peoria,
Yeah,
and it's more reasonably priced than sending them to Champaign or one of the other training academies.
Absolutely. They do a phenomenal job, and it's really a good partnership because, you know, they can keep their academy thriving with local agencies using them as well.
Our command staff's able to stay in touch with what's
Yep.
going on and how they're doing.
Yeah, it's been a good fit. Any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Mingus,
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Mayor Call.
Aye.
All present voting aye, Your Honor.
Thank you, motion carried.
Second item tonight, Your Honor, is ordinance number 4810. Mr. Mayor, I move you that ordinance number 4810 here to attached, an ordinance amending provisions of the East Peoria City Code that prohibit camping and sleeping on property owned by the city, be accepted on its first reading as read by its title, and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill.
Thank you, Commissioner Hill. You've seen recently other communities pass similar ordinances regarding camping or sleeping on I'm going to say public property. In this case, it's property owned by the city. This clears up our code that is no longer going to be allowed, that people will no longer be able to set up campsites or, I believe, even sleep in their vehicle on property owned by the city.
So just for full disclosure, East Peoria always had an ordinance in place, and I know the media reached out after the Supreme Court ruling to get a feel for what local communities were going to do. We've always enforced ours. Is what's before us is just more clear definition of a campsite and whatnot, just to make sure there's no gray area. But East Peoria has always had this on the books, a similar ordinance where we've not tolerated that, and nor will we. So just for full disclosure. Scott, anything else you want to add to that?
No, Mayor, I think you guys have explained it well. It's just clarifying, just to make it clear that what our ordinances do cover under the city code does comply now with, expands a little bit and complies with that recent U.S. Supreme Court case.
Very good. Thank you. Any other discussion?
I have I think a question or a statement question. Does anywhere in this resolution, does it outlaw in any way, shape, or form other cities from dropping off people from their city to our city at 3 o'clock in the morning and not giving them a chance to get into a shelter?
I don't think
this our city code does not. Our city code does not
prevent other
address that
cities
in
from
any way.
dropping people off?
That'd be correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just to clarify, Your Honor, this is just on our city-owned property, which
Correct.
has always been, but other public property owned by other entities, it does not cover. Is that correct?
And for the most part, other governmental bodies control their property. So yeah, you are correct.
Okay.
This is just city property.
Do those other government bodies, they have the ability to pass a similar ordinance on their public
They
property
do.
if they wanted to?
They do, and in certain cases, they can ask the city to enforce its ordinances on their property as well. But they'd have to make that request of the city.
Okay, thank you.
You know, when I was a young pup a million years ago, down by the post office downtown East Peoria, there used to be a family by the name of Gard, G-A-U-R-D, I believe is how it's spelled. And they used to take in transients or vagrants, people that needed some help, and they always had 4 or 5 rooms in their house. They had 2 kids and 2 adults and a big old house down there. And I believe that the family is gone and so is the house, but it's just too bad that there isn't some place or somebody in East Peoria that can lend a helping hand for people that genuinely, and I mean genuinely, need help.
I want to go on record as saying there are a lot of agencies in central Illinois here that do offer and provide that type of assistance. There's got to be a willingness to accept the help, first of all, but I look at the dollar amount that this state literally allocates towards these nonprofits that do this type of work. It's mind-blowing. And you have to ask yourself sometimes, where's the accountability back on the other side of the equation? It's frustrating, but, you feel for people that genuinely find themselves in that situation versus some people that, say what you want, but it seems like there's an awful lot of people that choose that lifestyle versus find themselves in that lifestyle. But one thing that I want to say openly, because I've been criticized that we do enforce this, is we don't develop these public spaces and maintain them to have people come in and trash them. It'd be one thing if they came in and laid their head down and they were looking for a place to rest that they felt safe at, but it's another thing when we're getting calls from people that are trying to enjoy that space with their family to find needles and human waste and other garbage and debris. I mean, we walk around this complex, and I can't tell you how many times we're stuck cleaning up needles and everything else, human waste. We've had to power wash our sidewalks because people choose to go to the bathroom right outside the doors, you know, and we discover that when we come in here before we open it for public use. But public property, I think Supreme Court got it right. It's not designed for someone's enjoyment as they see fit. It's for the enjoyment and benefit of all people. And so we got to be respectful of that. So anyway, any other discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Mingus.
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Mayor Call.
Aye.
All present voting, aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
My last item tonight, Your Honor, Resolution 2425-056. Be it resolved by the Council of the City of East Peoria, Illinois, that Resolution Number 2425-056 here to attached, a resolution requesting permission for temporary closure of state-maintained roadways for a public event for the Festival of Lights Parade on November 23rd, 2024 be approved. Mr. Mayor, I move you that this Resolution Number 2425-056 be accepted on its first reading as read by its title and be laid on the table for no less than 1 week for public inspection.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Sutherland.
Thank you, Commissioner Sutherland. This is usually Commissioner Decker's item, and obviously he's not here today. So this is basically temporarily closing or requesting to the state that we close Route 8 and Route 150 for the Festival of Lights Parade. We do it every year, and it's hard to believe that we're starting to talk about a Christmas event, but we are. And just for public record, the parade will be November 23rd, 2024.
Very good. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Mingus.
Aye.
Sutherland,
Aye.
Mayor Call.
Aye.
All present voting, aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. Motion carried.
That's all I have tonight, Your Honor.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner Mingus. Public comment. Anyone wish to address the council on a non-agenda item? And we have a taker.
So some of you may know that we had to pay our taxes today, the second installment. But prior to doing that, some of us got notices of an increase in valuation on our properties. So it's getting really hard around here to keep paying these taxes, especially for people on fixed income. And to give you an example, just in the last 3 years, they've increased the value of my home by 25%. And there's no way that it's increased that much. That's just what they do. I did the quick math on the increase this time, and they added an extra $500, and that's not without all the kickers that's going to hit next year. So everybody should be aware that one way or another, they're going to get more taxes out of you. And increasing the valuation of a house, whether it's worth it or not, you know, they're pushing people out.
I agree, Don. So the state law is broken, very broken. So I highly recommend two things. People reach out to their local state representatives and start holding them accountable for some of this stuff, for not taking action to fix the problem, because they are chasing good people out of this state. Ours has gone up 22% based on the notice that we just got in a matter of 3 years, and there's no sign that that's slowing down anytime soon. The second thing isn't just at the state level. I encourage you to call your county board representatives, because I know they'll sit there and tell you they can't control that. It's time someone takes a stand. I don't care who it is. It's a broken system that needs fixed. It's based off the last 3 years of average home sale price, unless someone corrects me. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. And then they've got to come up with this amount, and guess what? Taxpayers lose.
Yeah,
So-
and there's always extenuating circumstances too, where some of these houses sell for way more than what they should and bring the valuations up, so.
Yeah, I agree.
But I just, you know, it's getting hard, you know, when you're getting a $500 a year increase on your property taxes and you're living on a fixed income, so.
Yeah. No,
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Don. Appreciate your comments. Seeing no one else. Comments from the council. Commissioner Hill.
It's interesting that we had this, Don brings that up because not scripted by me, but in my hand, I have the same, same information that I've got, a 21-year running record here of the property tax valuations of my particular property, and it doesn't really matter that over that year, what's interesting is, the valid reasons that you would see is, about year 3, I added a deck, and so there's a note in the property tax assessment of what it's being added, and then I added, after that, a pool. But in the last 4 years, Don and I lived near each other, and so we suffered an 8.64% improvement in our neck of the woods, because I reached out to our assessor and said, Fond du Lac took a hit, Groveland's Township might have been even more.
It is. It's 8.9.
Yeah, 8.9, and then I've got 7.6, and this is going backwards, 4 percentage, and then 3 percentage points, and so I, like Don there, have had a 25,000 or 25% increase, and so the reason I was going to bring it up is other residents have already started talking about it on Facebook and other places. That again, there's twofold. So mine's going to go up, and one of the things I told my wife that if mine went up based on this year's multiplier, which next year's will not be that, almost guaranteed that the taxing bodies that raise our taxes or increase their tax rate every year are going to continue to do so. So one thing, and I know we did this in the most recent, is to ask those taxing bodies that the assessed values are going to go up. So please take that in consideration when you're raising your taxes or your tax rate next year, because our assessed value is going up. So right there, even if everybody held their tax rate, your tax bill is going to be more. And so it compounds it, as it did in this last year, in all the taxing bodies. And I don't expect anybody to probably be able to really see this. I can see it on the monitor. And this is another thing that I did years ago, and this is 21 years of tax rate. And one of the things that you hear us, and so not that, we're not making excuses, this little flat line here, that if you can see it, is the city's tax rate over 21 years. And you can see that graphically it's pretty level. And there's two others that are consistently going up during that period. And then the other 7 taxing bodies. And so when you're talking your tax bill, there's multiple elements. And the big one is your assessed value, that in the last 4 years I myself definitely have experienced, and I believe the whole area was. And as the mayor referenced, there's a statutory code that I guess gives the county assessor the ability to raise those. And again, as Don referenced, maybe there should have been some consideration of the extreme high inflation and the pandemic that it was taken into consideration on raising all of our assessed values. And as I reflected on this, one of the things that, to me, I look at this is being taxed on unrealized gain. If you really think of it, we are being taxed. I'm going to be, everybody wants their home to appreciate, but I'm being taxed for the rest of my life. More than likely, my estate will benefit, if anything, from this, but I'm going to be being taxed on these accelerating rates on the property that I have that I may or may not be able to sell at the value that the tax assessor has decided to tax me on. So with that being said, be aware, pay attention, get out there, and as the mayor talked about, you can talk to the county, but as our taxing bodies go out to lay their taxing rates, help them remind that our tax assessed values will be going up, not by our choice, and so will their revenues with them if they do nothing with their tax rate. So with that, I'll turn it over.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Good points. Commissioner Sutherland.
I just got a couple points tonight. I was told today that it's a Springfield Road repaving. should start by the end of this week. They're going to start down on Main Street and work toward Washington Street at the bottom of Springfield Hill. Then when they're done with that part, they're going to reposition themselves out by Muller Road and start grinding and moving the manhole lids and all that kind of good stuff. And there's going to be right behind the curbing people that are down by Lincoln Grade School right now. And so hopefully the curb people will be totally out of the way in the next couple weeks by the time that the paving people get down. And it looks like Springfield Road is absolutely, positively, weather permitting, going to be ready and completely done well before Festival of Lights. And speaking of the suicide thing, I had a friend or two or three or four send me pictures of signs in people's yards that had the new 988 hotline in their yard, and these were from out of town. I would really like to find out where they're getting those signs. I'm not much one of a computer person, but I wouldn't mind putting up a couple of those signs myself and start beating it into people's heads that this is the new, I'm going to confuse people, the new 911 number is 988 for if you're in mental crisis. I did do a lot of reading up on 988, and I don't agree with everything that they do because of the rules and the regulations and stuff of letting somebody know that you're about ready to hurt yourself triggers a whole bunch of things that you may not want to happen, but it's better that it happens than that person not be here anymore. I'm done.
Very good. Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Mingus.
I have nothing, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. The only thing I want to touch on, Commissioner Decker is actually on an honor flight. He took someone else's place that couldn't make it, which is the last honor flight of the year. So on his behalf, I know he's heavily involved in the Vietnam Traveling Memorial Wall. Just a little reminder, that will be set up out here in Levy Park Wednesday, September 25th through Sunday, September 29th. Still looking for volunteers, so anyone, whether it's what they call an information volunteer, and is what that is, you know, this is our second time hosting it. They have with them in chronological order of the names, 58,272 names that'll be on that wall. So when someone comes down, if they are looking for a specific name or person, they can guide them to the section of the wall and they can easily find their loved one or whoever they're looking for's name. But they're looking for information assistance. You can volunteer for that, or you can volunteer for security, which that thing is secured and manned 24/7 while it's here from start to finish. So anyone seeking to or willing to help, Dan provided a cell phone number, a matter of public record, the last meeting, so I'll just reiterate, it's 309-251-9174. Reach out to Dan if you're willing to help in any way, or if you just want to help set the wall up or tear it down. It'll get in here around 9 or 9:30 on Wednesday the 25th. Takes about 2 hours to set up. Well organized, this gentleman is, because we helped the last time he came in town. Or if you want to help break it down, right now is what they have posted. They'll be breaking it down Monday morning, the 30th. But I believe last time we broke it down after it closed around 2 p.m. or something on that Sunday. But I'll verify the breakdown. But anyway, we're looking for help there. Obviously, it's heavy lifting for those of you that are willing to put it up or tear it back down. So just wanted to put that out there, and that's about it. That's a wrap. So I'd seek a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn until Tuesday evening, September 17th, 2024 at 6 p.m.
May I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Mingus. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Hill,
Aye.
Mingus?
Aye.
Sutherland?
Aye.
Mayor Call?
Aye.
All present voting, aye, Your Honor.
Thank you. We're adjourned until we meet again.